Texas system.
Okay, yes.
I have a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Agenda item 5G was approved on consent. Agenda item 5H is consideration and possible action to approve the issuance of a request to offer for the Apply Texas system. Jarrell Booker will present this item as well and be available for questions. Mr. Booker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for approving the last item that I spoke on. This one is actually a follow-up to that last item. So we've been very pleased with Apply Texas through the years. It was a strong application, one of the best in the United States as far as a state-run application. But through the years, it needs to be improved. We've gotten to a point where technology has changed, the expectation for the user experience has changed, and we need to put some more time and energy and funds into that change. So this year, that you've just provided us in your vote, and hopefully the full board actually approves, will also give us time to seek additional vendors and additional contractors to actually redesign this application and improve the user experience. Okay, so part of that timing is not only figure out how much it costs, but this is what we need as far as mobile, help desk, how many click-throughs, the language that you use. There's so many different things now with this user experience that we need to improve upon. University of Texas did a wonderful job adding in our scholarship application through the years. We also have something called the Counselor Suite. Many of you may be aware of that, where counselors can actually track how their students are doing, whether they're clicking through the application, whether they completed a FAFSA. Those are things we've added in, but now we have to kind of modernize and kind of enhance the application. So what you see here is a request to an RFO, a request for offers, to get vendors to come in, contract and bid on kind of how to change Advise Texas, approve the application. I'm sorry, Apply Texas, improve the application, and then that will have an initial cost, which is what you see here, to actually do that, then get it up and running, so we don't lose any time from Apply Texas now into the Apply Texas and the experience that the students are going to have in the future. If you think about it, the application, they're applying a year in advance of when they're going to go. So we're actually having to be in front of this so we don't lose or miss any time and have any downtime for this application. So we are respectfully requesting an opportunity to request for offer for other vendors to actually maintain, host, and develop a newer Apply Texas system.
Can the current vendor bid on it?
I believe they can, whether they intend to or want to, but they'll definitely either way be a part of. If they're not a part of applying, they will definitely be a part of the process to help us improve it.
And how long will the next contract be?
We'll have to figure that out when it comes. We had gotten to a point where this, like I said, was 3 and 4 year contracts. It's very difficult to do this year to year. You need some consistency, and so I imagine it's going to be a longer contract this time around. But I don't want to misspeak, and I can't tell if Nicole is nodding her head or not nodding her head, but I imagine it would be a lot longer than 1 year.
And last question for me, are we putting in any provisions in the request for offer for innovations?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay.
That'll be a must in how they respond.
Okay.
I have a question. Does University of Texas subcontract this out, or are they doing that internally?
In-house.
Additional questions? Okay, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the issuance of a request for offer for the Apply Texas system?
So moved.
May I have a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Agenda item 5I was approved on consent. Agenda item 5J is the consideration and possible action to approve the following requests for new degree programs. Agenda item 5J1 is the consideration and possible action to adopt the request from the University of Texas at El Paso for a Doctor of Occupational Therapy, a OTD, degree with a major in occupational therapy. Dr. Dalia Castillo and the program director of Stephen Kreitz, Dean of Graduate School, are available for questions and comments. We'll give them a minute to get up here. And Elizabeth Mayer is going to present this item and be available to answer questions as well as the institutional representatives. Elizabeth?
Good morning again.
Good morning.
The University of Texas at El Paso is seeking approval to offer a Doctor of Occupational Therapy degree in occupational therapy. UT El Paso currently offers a master's degree program in occupational therapy that would be phased out as the proposed doctoral degree is initiated. The proposed face-to-face program would require 105 semester credit hours beyond a bachelor's degree program beginning in fall 2022. The doctoral program would prepare students to sit for licensure as occupational therapists. Workforce data indicated that there is a growing need for occupational therapists. The Texas Workforce Commission expects the state employment rate for occupational therapists to grow at a faster rate than the average for all occupations. While workforce projections consider a master's degree to be sufficient for occupational therapists, the Accreditation Council for Occupational Therapy Education recommended changing the entry-level requirement for occupational therapists to a doctoral degree. The recommendation, however, was not passed at the accreditor meeting. Although the transition to the OTD as the entry-level degree for occupational therapist certification did not occur, the number of OTD programs nationwide continues to increase as more institutions move toward offering the OTD. There are currently 6 institutions in Texas offering doctoral programs in occupational therapy. In accordance with the institution's proposed hiring schedule, UTEP will hire 1 core faculty member to start in fall 2022, and the institution will seek accreditation for its OTD program. That concludes my remarks, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you all may have.
Dr. Castillo, would you like to make comments? I think you have to share with
you're good.
Elizabeth. Did it?
Thank you very much for this consideration, and I think that sums it up. I'm here to answer questions if there are any.
Okay. Dr. Kreitz?
Same, just, I'll help you with any questions.
So I have a question, Madam Chair. My question is, you've got you want to start in the fall of this year, so you have 4 months for admissions, and what does that look like, and what kind of quality applicants are you getting, or there?
So our admission cycle follows the national trend. We use an OTCAS system, and that opens in July of the previous year. And so at this moment, we have 24 candidates who have received letters saying pending THECB and SAC's approval, this program will move forward. So we plan on starting a cohort on August 22nd with 24 students.
Okay, so SACS hasn't approved yet.
No, this cohort will enter under the Masters of Occupational Therapy.
Okay.
But if you approve and SACS approves, then we can switch them to the doctoral.
Yeah, but do the students understand that? I mean, this is one of the things I think that we're going to talk as a board with our staff and agency, the way this program works, because the students need preparation. These are doctoral programs. This is not just, undergraduate degree. This is more a discussion for the board members of what we need to do to move forward to prepare for students who are an editorial program. We really need to, when you look at SACS and when you look at the coordinating board and getting these approvals and people plan for their careers, this is a short time span. And you're just, I think sometimes these programs, this is not just you, just in programs in general that I've seen, and Ms. Williams and I have been working on academic programs for several years, is that, we need to look at the system, and any suggestions that y'all have is because we need to put ourselves in our students and our parents' position in terms of applying to graduate school with the expense and the time. And I know the commissioner and I have spoken about this, and we're looking to revisit this issue because we get so far ahead of the accreditation and the approval process, and people plan their lives around this, and so, Commissioner, we're talking about, the timetable that you and I have discussed, and Ms. Williams, in terms of what we need to do for our constituents, our students, and faculty, because people need, and institutions, they need to prepare. What happens, SACS has been pretty tough lately, and this coordinating board is getting tougher. And so we want rigorous programs, we want high quality, but, people are planning their whole careers around this, and not only the cost, but we need to have a plan that's in place that, other than just assuming that everything's going to go just perfect, because there are some programs that have had some issues in that. And so I think institutions need to pay really attention to that. And I'm not saying just your particular program, I'm just saying this in general for everyone that's listening, that this is an issue we've had as a coordinating board and administrators and programs and future programs, planners. People need to get their ducks in a row because we don't want to disappoint our students and who are preparing for their future plans and their careers. And again, not against institution. I applaud UT El Paso for getting this doctoral program and the work that y'all have done. But I think this is something us as a coordinating board really have to take a deep dive into, and the commissioner and I have discussed this and bring it up to the board. So I just mentioned that because this is an example of some issues that have come up before, and we really want to improve the higher ed system. And so I just bring that out to y'all. And again, this is nothing particular, because you have your plans, and I think it's now. I support the program, and I think you'll be very successful. I just think I'm involved, as the commissioner knows, in interviewing graduate and undergraduate programs, and the students, and I talk to students, and they see this as not a barrier, but a decision, and that's why the timetable of admitting students, and I understand the way the year cycles work. Believe me, in terms of health sciences and all, and the plan is if something goes wrong, it's going to really affect a lot of folks in terms of the planning, and sometimes things don't work out as everybody plans it, but we need to look at that, meaning our side, meaning the coordinating board, as well as the institutions and those that plan these programs.
So I'd like to respond to that by saying that our admissions process, again, that's a national admitting board that we use, similar to most of the other programs in Texas. And the best way I can respond to that is by telling you that our applicants have actually gone down significantly over the last 3 years as other programs in the state have moved to doctoral. And so we've made a concerted effort to inform students of this transition. And so based on our applications, students are applying to other institutions of higher learning that are offering the doctorate already. And so based on that, we have really made this push. And you're absolutely correct. We already have plans in place. I tell you, we have 24 students that are ready to be admitted, but that is also contingent upon our hiring of a 6th person, which is pending at the moment. And we've already made a decision that if we don't get that 6th person for whatever reason, we're going to go down to either 18 or fewer admissions, so that we are prepared to address each individual student need within this brand new program where there's so many unknowns at this moment. And so we've kind of planned for fewer admissions, fewer students, based on if we're able to meet their individual needs.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, because the projections don't always pan out. And so I appreciate that y'all are doing that.
I mean, the other thing I would say is, currently we have the master's program. So these students are being admitted into the master's program, and if something goes wrong, they will be in the master's program. And they know that, but as we're screening and talk to them, we're saying there is the possibility we may get the doctorate, and then you could, continue in that way. So, they are coming in, I think, fully aware of all of this issues and the difficulty in this.
Good. Well, you've thought it through your contingency plans, and that's my point. I think we need to be able to have those. Thank you.
Any additional questions? If not, do I have a motion to approve the request from the University of Texas at El Paso for a Doctor of Occupational Therapy, OTD, degree with a major in business administration?
I'll move. With a major,
Repeat that again. think that's, yeah.
Do I have a motion to approve the request from the University of Texas at El Paso for a Doctor of Occupational Therapy, a OTD degree with a major in business administration?
Not that part, not the last part.
Leave off the
Yeah.
occupational, okay.
Unless you're going to do a combination. But
No,
we're talking,
no.
some people
I
are
think my
actually thinking
notes-
about
no.
interdisciplinary.
Yeah, my
I have
notes, I
skills,
just
but I
had.
can't lead a
Yeah.
business.
Yeah,
And by the way, Mr. Booker earlier made a good point on the committee work we're doing here. This is just recommendation to the board, and
Yes,
the board makes
it
the
is.
final approval tomorrow on all these. So even though we're approving these on all the committees, just as a reminder, so.
yeah, we're moving it to the full board for consideration.
Yes.
Okay. And
I'll move as modified.
I am taking out business administration unless you guys change your mind. Occupational therapy there on my
That would really
notes.
be a problem with SACs and other people. We'll avoid that one.
Okay.
Faculty issues there.
Okay, I know, okay. So I'm going to read it again with the correct terminology in it for the record. Do I have a motion to approve the request for the University of Texas at El Paso for a Doctor of Occupational Therapy, a OTD degree with a major in occupational therapy?
I'll move.
I have a motion. May I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Congratulations.
All right. Agenda item 5J2 is consideration and possible action to approve the request from the University of Texas at Tyler for a Master's of Science, an MS in Cybersecurity and Data Analytics. Dr. Tom Roberts, Professor of Computer Science, and Dr. Robert Shoemaker, Professor of Computer Science, founder and director of the Data Analytic Lab, are available for questions and comments. Elizabeth Mayer will present this item and be available for questions as well.
The University of Texas at Tyler is seeking approval to offer a Master of Science degree program in cybersecurity and data analytics beginning in fall 2022. The proposed program would require completion of 36 semester credit hours and would be offered fully online. Students would graduate with a course mix that can lead to career advancement for future jobs in either cybersecurity, data analytics, or both. Students could complete up to 4 graduate certificates within the proposed program. The proposed online program would be designed to prepare students with knowledge and skills for strengthening cybersecurity protocols and developing cybersecure control systems. The proposed program would combine cybersecurity and data analytics into a single master's program that would require students to complete foundation baseline courses that are necessary for both areas. Data nationally and statewide indicate workforce needs for cybersecurity managers and data analysts is currently not being met. Currently, there are 10 public institutions and 3 private institutions that offer a master's level degree in cybersecurity data analytics in Texas. And that concludes my remarks, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
All right, thank you. Dr. Roberts, would you like to make comments?
The Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, because you guys wrote a letter in July of 2020 talking about the need and how to get more cybersecurity experts. And that really helped us push some things across the board. This isn't new to Dr. Shoemaker and I. We both arrived at UT Tyler in 2015. This has been our aspiration the entire time we've been there to get this, and we finally were here. So we're thankful to you and really appreciate your help in that process. This degree, it's different in that it has a couple of components that they didn't mention. We chose to combine data analytics and cybersecurity because we feel like data is the most important thing in organizations, but also infrastructure. And so while we use both, the student has the ability to customize their degree to where they could focus on one or the other. And so they can go through there. Another component that's part of it is we have stackable certificates in the process, which means every 3 courses that are part of it, immediately their transcript will be stamped that they completed those courses, and they will be issued a certificate on their transcript and a physical certificate that says they had completed that. It gives a little bit more element, and I know everybody's going to probably ask a question about online. I'll tell you what, 2 years ago, I would have told you there's no way that we're going to be able to teach anything cybersecurity online. I was teaching digital forensics. We went to spring break, and we didn't come back. And I had this huge project that I had the students doing, and I had to totally change it in a matter of like a week and a half. I had a week. And we pulled it off because we had already done assignments online, but we were able to actually do the entire project online with the students. And after that, I was like, we can do this. I think you've had the same experience, wouldn't you say?
Exactly.
Right. Like I said, we've been able to teach online with this, and we think we can expand the market, and we can also get more expertise out to people. And I'll open it up to questions, to whatever.
Dr. Shoemaker, would you like to make comments? Dr. Shoemaker?
I think they succinctly
Okay.
hit all the points there.
So I'd like to say that, Madam Chair, that I think this is a phenomenal program in terms of what you're thinking about. Tell us a little bit about your background, if you would mind, just really quickly, in terms of the uniqueness of the students' perspective is from teaching, learning
Is
from
from
you.
teaching. Well, my background is we're really. By the way, our computer science department is in the College of Business. It moved there. And it is a pure computer science department, almost. They hired us. We're business people, believe it or not. Rob's a data analytics, business analytics expert. And I've been teaching networking primarily over the last 30-something years. I was at Louisiana Tech before I came to UT Tyler. And I developed the cybersecurity programs there, and also got us to be NSA, National Center of Excellence in both cybersecurity education and cybersecurity research while I was there. And so one of the things that coming over, we were able to we have a really good technical group, and so we can go really technical, which we do, and we can do it online. And so that's kind of where I'm from. I'll turn over to Rob where he's from as well on
Thank you.
data analytics.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, my background is University of Arizona, and I came through the MIS program at the Eller College of Management, and my research area is textual financial prediction. So being able to build systems that can read news articles and make predictions of stock price in the future before a human analyst can read the article and make a decision based upon that stock. So that was one of my areas. Then I got into sports data mining and started doing that. So I'm just waiting for Texas to kind of legalize that, because that's going to be my second paycheck. And now I'm into healthcare analytics. So what we're doing is we're looking at prescription medications, doing machine learning in order to find out what medications should never be used in combination with one another. What are we seeing in the history that we need to be putting out for board review?
I like that part, being in healthcare myself. So there are programs that do that now, artificial intelligence and things, which is great. So no, I thank you for that. I was just wondering, because typically it's computer sciences under natural sciences at most schools, and I was wondering why UT Tyler decided to move to business, or is that where y'all recommended it to be? Or do you know?
This was a decision that was made before we got there.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Okay.
right. And we are heavily integrated. We have computer science professors, pure computer science professors that are teaching cybersecurity and data analytics, and vice versa. Matter of fact, we'll probably hire people that are as technical as we could possibly get when we get out recruiting, to try to finalize where we stand with the program.
Thank you.
What do the majority of your students have an undergraduate degree in? Come into this program.
I can't speak to that since we haven't had any into it, but I can tell you what we expect.
Yeah.
We've had inquiries about the potential of this program from computer science, we've had them from engineering, we've had them from business, we've had them from math, we've had them from all over campus. And we welcome them all because we developed it for people to be able to come in from different backgrounds and be able to accomplish it. So we're pretty excited about it from that standpoint.
You mentioned earlier, I'm a big baseball fan, so cybermetrics and also you have a new medical school at UT Tyler, which y'all can work on that as well with the health sciences.
Yes, we got good partnerships with the Health Sciences Center, and we'll have with the medical school. And Dr. Shoemaker's working with the pharmacy school, continuously has ongoing work over there. And we work well with the College School of Nursing as well. So they're doing a lot of healthcare analytics, and the business school is also doing a lot of analytics as well.
Just to ask a quick question. So has your program considered trying to work with the various military bases in Texas to talk about maybe doing some form of, like, I don't know if there's such a thing as an externship or internship with a military branch. That's probably not a thing, but is there some sort of program where, like, for example, a lot of law schools, they have JAG. Obviously, with cybersecurity, the military right now has a big need for that. Is that something that's possible?
Okay, answer to that question is we haven't yet, but we will. I can tell you the reason I went to Louisiana Tech a long time ago from the University of Kansas is we thought Cyber Command was coming there. I taught for almost the whole time I was at Louisiana Tech on base at Barksdale Air Force Base, which was Cyber Command Provisional for a while. Then I think there was 2 airplanes that flew with atomic bombs on them, and they didn't realize they were on there. And the Air Force, Chief of Staff of the Air Force and the Secretary of the Air Force lost their jobs. That was back in the Bush administration. Anyway, the scenario is yes, because there's a lot of opportunities, not just on virtually every military base with regard to cyber.
Thank you, sir.
So any limitation in terms of who can apply for your degree? Like anybody with bachelor degree can apply, or?
Yes.
So it will be very broad-based. Like if I have natural science or social science, whatever degree you don't have any prerequisite and.
We haven't set the standard for the testing model that we'll have there, but I'm willing to take anybody from any major. And I know that strange thing on campus, we have people from the English department, and they are outstanding. And the textual analysis and the type of things that Dr. Shoemaker does. So I'm not going to count anybody out, but there will be math in it involved.
So you do not have a curriculum set up yet?
Yes, we do. I got it right here.
Okay, so some English major can fulfill those courses requirement because some of them are very technical in terms of cybersecurity and data analysis.
We've got 3 courses that are in our foundational certificate that we think both areas need. And one of them is machine learning. What do I have on my other? There's a statistics class, which is a quantitative analysis course for analytics and cybersecurity. And then the third one is
Database
analytics. And so that's really understanding the database and how it works. And not just a regular database class, but how would you secure it as well.
So is that curriculum pretty standardized across for all the other institutions, right? Or are you special? Or you're
A lot of the courses are standardized compared to others, but ours is a little bit different because we're feeding data analytics and cybersecurity.
So you can
both.
say this field is pretty new, that is, everybody's doing their own thing now. Can you say that? I don't know. I mean, that means other institutions, they can set this curriculum, the other set that curriculum, and when you graduate from that and graduate from that, they are not really equal, so to speak.
I'm not going to say, I know on the cybersecurity side, if you were to go look at San Antonio, and you go look at their courses and you look at our courses, the majority are going to overlap. Okay, now the one interesting thing is, and if you go look at UT Dallas on the analytics side, and it's interesting, UT Dallas is really strong in data analytics, and then UT San Antonio is really, really strong in cybersecurity. So, but if you go look at the courses, you would see an overlap depending on which way the student went, and that's a strong point for us. And yes, we pay a lot of attention to what's there. Also, West Texas A&M, we actually pay. There's a lot of them that are out there, and Sam Houston State, we pay attention to what they're doing as well. So, and other schools that are out of state.
Any other questions? Hearing none, members, do I have a motion to approve the request from the University of Texas at Tyler for a Master's of Science in Cybersecurity and Data Analytics?
So moved.
May I have a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Thank you both for coming. Agenda item 5J3 is consideration and possible action to approve the request from Stephen F. Austin State University for a Bachelor's of Science, a BS, in Electrical Engineering. Dr. Mark Guidry, Assistant Provost, Dr. Andrew Beauregard, Chair, Department of Physics, and Dr. Loreno Smith, Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs, are available for questions. And Elizabeth Mayer is going to present this item and be available to answer questions.
I am not sure if the individuals from Stephen F. Austin are here. I do not see them in the audience, so I will go through the item and we'll see where we're at.
Okay.
Okay. Stephen F. Austin State
Why
University.
should we even consider a degree when the university doesn't even send a representative to approve it? If it's not that important to them, why should we even consider it?
I don't know what happened. I know we invited them and we have names, but I don't have any details of what may have happened.
I move we table the motion.
Okay. I think, Ray, you want to come to the mic?
So sorry, Madam Chair. Yes, I wonder, Mr. Torn, if we've got a few additional program approvals that we're still doing. Maybe we can check on this if that's okay, and you all can move on to the next one, and we'll see if we can track down what we know about their representatives attending. Would that be okay, Madam Chair?
Fine with me.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Thanks.
I know they committed to be here, so maybe
Yes, ma'am.
something's going on.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll check on it.
Okay. All righty, we will table agenda items 5J and 5J3 and 5J4. They had two on the list. So we will move on to the North Texas folks. I know we had a couple of them in the audience. If you guys can make your way to the front. Agenda item 5J5 is consideration and possible action to approve the request from the University of North Texas for a Doctor of Business, a DBA, in Business Administration. Dr. Marilyn Whaley, Dean of G. Brent Ryan College of Business, and Dr. Adash Pashwan, Associate Dean of the G. Brent Ryan College of Business, are available for questions and comments. And I think they told me Dr. McPherson was going to be online, but since we don't have online, he's not.
Well, I am here.
Oh, okay. There you go. There you go. Dr. Michael McPherson is the interim provost. He's also available for comments. But Elizabeth will present this item and be available for questions, and then we'll take comments from the institution representatives. Okay?
The University of North Texas is seeking approval to offer a Doctor of Business Administration, or DBA, degree program in business administration. The proposed program would require 48 semester credit hours and would begin in fall 2022. The proposed program would be offered face-to-face to students in Denton, with plans to relocate to a new branch campus to be built in Frisco. The curriculum plan estimates that students would complete the degree in 3 years. Students are expected to keep their existing jobs while participating in coursework on weekends. UNT is proposing a curriculum model that allows for concentrations such as accounting and business computer information systems to be added according to student demand. This would allow the proposed program to establish a distinctive identity among the competing programs in the Metroplex. The institution has sufficient faculty and support staff in place to begin the proposed program. UNT would hire 1 full-time, full staff member, 1 part-time master's degree student assistant, and 1 new core faculty member in year 2, and a 2nd new core faculty member in year 3. The Association to Advance Collegiate Schools in Business, or AACSB, accredits schools or colleges of business rather than individual programs. Because UNT's G. Brent Ryan College of Business is already accredited by AACSB, the proposed program would be considered accredited until the next review cycle. That concludes my remarks, and I'm happy to answer any questions you all may have.
Thank you. Dr. Pashwan, would you like to make comments? Dr.
Thank
Wiley?
you.
Okay.
I believe Provost McPherson wanted to make an introductory remark, and then I'll pick up when he's done.
Okay.
Mike?
Thank you. I want to say good morning to committee members and guests. I am here to thank you all for your time and your consideration of this proposed new Doctor of Business Administration degree. Dean Wiley and Associate Dean Paswan can fill you in on details and answer the particular questions you may have, but I will just say that I enthusiastically support this program, and I think that this degree is going to meet a demand and serve the citizens of Texas. We are delighted to have the opportunity to discuss this proposal with you today. Dean Wiley?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Williams and members of the board. We are pleased to have the opportunity to present to you today. This program was conceived and has been in discussion at our university for quite a long time because there is such a large unmet demand for this program. Specifically, the AACSB shows that there is a national shortage of terminally qualified, that is, doctorate holding faculty in business. It has driven salary acceleration that is very difficult for universities to keep up with, and also an impact on class sizes. This degree meets that need in a very special way. We get applications and requests for the ability to participate in our PhD program every year from employed professionals at very high levels in the Dallas-Fort Worth corporate community. And we don't offer that. A PhD program is very differently focused than a DBA. So this program will target those high-level managers and people who have extensive business knowledge that could bring that into the classroom if they had that terminal degree. Specifically, we are seeking retiring professionals who, for example, in some professions such as accounting, have to retire at an early age and seek a second career in higher education, or would like to teach as adjuncts or part-time for us while they are still working. And we also receive requests frequently from those in the business analytics and IT area who need specific theory to back their consulting expertise and higher level research skills to augment that within the workforce area. I would also like to add that UNT is perfect to offer this degree because we do have such a strong, large faculty. We have faculty full-time faculty of about 145 as of next fall, with more than 110 of those holding a terminal degree, either a PhD or a DBA. So we are well positioned to begin this. In addition, diverse issues in higher education ranked us #1 in the country for doctoral graduates representing underserved populations. So we think that is a special advantage that we bring. We are also very strong with industry partnerships, home to 22 Fortune 500 companies and a number of others that work closely with us. So there's a significant population of workforce candidates for this program, as well as our 22,000 business alumni in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Thank you.
Morning. In addition to what Dean Wiley was saying, I would say an ideal candidate will be me. 30 years back, I had about 8 years of industry experience, and I was looking at, so where do I want to be? And I actually came in for a PhD program. If I had the DBA available, I would have joined that. But in terms of program structure, it's 48 credit hours, which can be finished in 3 years, what am I saying? Without actually quitting the job. So the program is going to be offered in a hybrid format with about 40-45% online, and that'll focus on the content knowledge, especially in today's day and age. There are tons of explicit knowledge available online. And the classroom, which will meet about 4 times per semester on the weekends, will be used to make that knowledge come alive, apply that to the actual practical business issues. And that's why the unique part about this program is this is where the students, and I'm using the word students, they are 10 years industry experienced people, they will be able to bring in their own experience, their own problems that they have faced. We bring in the theoretical concept and the key relevant theories and the research methods, and they'll be able to combine those 3 and create knowledge for businesses, for academia. In terms of future plans, they could either get into faculty role, they could get into consulting role, they could also get into within their own organization in terms of staff position, which is strategic planning role. So given that, we believe that we have a good market, we can do the job very well, and I think the Texas market will benefit a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're happy to answer any questions.
I would like to compliment you on the hybrid model. I'm a big fan of that, especially for mid-career and people that have been out in the real world. So I think that's a very good plan. I think that as you know, you always look at when you do programs like these, what are the outcomes, what kind of careers, but you know, these are almost for second career almost. And so I think this is good, the hybrid model. With the way after the pandemic and all, I think it's really a way that we need to look at higher education changing. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, hearing none. Do I have a motion to approve the request from the University of North Texas for a Doctor of Business, a DBA, in Business Administration?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, next on the agenda is agenda item 5J6 is consideration for possible action to approve the request from Texas Tech University for a Doctor of Philosophy, a PhD in One Health Sciences. Dr. Guy Loregan, and I'm probably butchering your name. I'm sorry. He's the Dean of School of Veterinary Medicine, and Dr. Darrell James, Provost for Institutional Effectiveness, are available for questions and answers. Elizabeth Mayer will present this item and be available for questions.
Texas Tech University is seeking approval to offer a Doctor of Philosophy degree program in One Health Sciences. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention describes One Health as collaborative, multi-sectoral, and transdisciplinary approach, working at the local, regional, national, and global levels, with the goal of achieving optimal health outcomes, recognizing the interconnection between people, animals, plants, and their shared environment. This would be the first PhD program in One Health Sciences in the United States. The proposed program would require 72 semester credit hours and would begin in fall 2022. The proposed program would be offered face-to-face to students at the Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine in Amarillo. The curriculum plan estimates that students would complete the degree in 5 years. It is difficult to estimate job demand for the first program in the United States in an ongoing, emerging new discipline, but job prospects for graduates appear strong. The external reviewers for this program noted that graduates would be distinctively trained for potential employers such as academic institutions, biomedical industries, government agencies, and global nonprofit agencies. Although graduates may need to explain their competencies to some employers or rely on their focused traditional area PhD study. Texas Tech University is proposing a curriculum with 18 semester credit hours of Core One Health Concepts and Research Methods courses. The 33 semester credit hours of electives fall into 5 general categories: molecular mechanisms of disease, disease prevention, adult education pedagogy, ecology management, and sustainability of animal agriculture. After 3 semester credit hours of journal club and 6 semester credit hours of research seminar, there would be a minimum of 12 semester credit hours of required dissertation research hours. In addition, Texas Tech is incorporating a year of laboratory rotations, including collaborations with Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center. That concludes my remarks, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Dr. Guy?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it very much. I appreciate the opportunity to share a little bit of information. As was said, One Health talks to that relationship between human, animal, and ecosystem health. The coronavirus pandemic is a great example of a spillover event from animals to people that has spread globally and now has spilled over into the wildlife population, some wildlife populations in the US. We can look more regionally and think about the use of animals in therapy of veterans with PTSD, or even further, more locally, to look at comparative medicine or comparative cancer research as examples of One Health. The PhD program in One Health Sciences is a unique program in the US. There are emerging programs globally. The core curriculum provides a foundation of shared language across the various disciplines, and then the electives allow deep subject matter expertise for training within certain areas, such as discussed previously. At the site visit, we were honored to have included the giants of veterinary medicine in particular, as well as One Health. 2 of them have been elected to the National Academies of Medicine, and the site visit was extraordinarily productive and positive, and they provided us some opportunities to even improve the program further, which we're excited to implement. Just to summarize, in terms of an update on the School of Veterinary Medicine, the school remains on track, on time, and on budget, and in many respects are actually ahead of schedule. The facilities were delivered several months ahead of schedule. The faculty right now, we are at 44 faculty. In a 2.5-year period, we've gone from 1 employee in the school to more than 70 in the school now. The first class of veterinary students are completing the end of their first year, and they have exceeded expectations. And the finances remain robust, and all of that is sufficient to support both the veterinary program as well as implementing this new proposed PhD in One Health Sciences. And lastly, last Friday, we were indeed honored by Governor Greg Abbott and several hundred guests. So we had the ceremonial ribbon cutting at the school, which was a wonderful celebration. Madam Chair, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, Dr. James, would you like to make comments?
I don't have anything further to add.
So I have a question. So this board recommended approval for the vet school. I wanted to find out of those first-year classes, we have a shortage of large animal vets. So how are you continuing to address admitting classes now and into the future? And what are you doing in the curriculum? What was presented to this board almost 2 years ago for approval of the program? Because I get that question a lot.
Well, that is a great question, and that is separate than the proposed PhD program in front. So
Since you brought up
Yes.
that's why I'm bringing that question up.
Yeah, thank you. And so our focus from the beginning has been on the needs of rural and regional communities. And that includes large animal medicine as well as high-quality veterinary medicine across rural and regional communities. And that has driven 3 interconnected strategies of who we admit into the program, the curriculum, as well as the experiential learning. If you look at our first year as well as our incoming class for the second incoming class, 70% call home a small rural or ranching community, which is unlike most programs in the country. The rest of them have developed deep life experiences in rural and regional communities. So our focus on admissions is not so much on the GPA, but it is on the life experiences that the applicants have developed.
Yes, but I want to make sure the quality and the GPA, and I'm involved in admissions and an expert in this area, so I think it's very important. I understand you're trying to do that, but as far as the entrance exam, as far as the high quality, I mean, we've got to make sure, and congratulations on being named the dean. And the thing about it is that, yes, we've got to meet those rural needs and things, but we've still got to keep the quality really high, and we've got to make sure the entrance exams are at the highest levels, and not only for veterinary medicine, but other programs, dental schools, medical schools, all health profession programs. Even though we're in a pandemic, yes, we have a lot of shortages, but we have to really keep an eye on the quality in the health professions and the areas. So, but I do applaud all the work that y'all have done and will continue to do to meet those needs, and that's why this board approved it. So just, keep up the great work. And I know this is separate from, and by the way, I'm a big public health person, so I like your program on One Health, the one we're talking about now too, but I just wanted an aside since you brought that up. And thank you for the update, because we as board members get those questions.
Thank you.
I have a question on, I read here saying that the most similar program is a PhD in biomedical sciences offered by Texas A&M. So what's the major difference between a graduate from the One Health Science and a graduate from that biomedical sciences?
Yes, the graduate program in biomedical sciences at Texas A&M is a very good program, and it is a very traditional program, so it's primarily taught with the focus of the principal investigator, as opposed to our program, which provides all of the students, whether they're interested in pedagogy of curriculum assessment or cancer biology, a common core set of courses that provides a shared language so that they understand and appreciate and then can implement the research related to One Health as it relates to animal, human, and ecosystem health. So it provides that broader worldview. So the primary difference between the 2 programs is our core curriculum.
Right, but those that you mentioned, that the one that graduated from biomedical sciences also learn as well, right, in school, the skill and the knowledge?
Not necessarily. So, and I can't speak precisely to their curriculum. I have served on several students within that PhD program in biomedical sciences on their graduate committee at Texas A&M, and they're outstanding students. We actually have one employee at the school now who graduated from that program, and but their curriculum is very much driven around the classical Doctor of Philosophy of biomedical sciences, and then the qualitative, quantitative analysis, and then electives within the area that they're studying, as opposed to ours, which is a common core that all students within the program will pursue.
So the One Health Science training will be specifically or uniquely recognized in the workplace as well, instead of just, if you graduate from the biomedical sciences, he or she can do exactly the same thing or maybe not because of this uniqueness of this one health science degree, the training and the knowledge that you are talking about. That's why it's so unique, you say?
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly, that's why I read here.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. And we see more and more programs, whether they're agencies, institutions, or industry, that are developing interest in One Health because of this at the moment. So UTMB is leading a One Health program at the moment, so in Galveston. So this is a emerging field, and the last 2 years have really helped an understanding of the importance of this field.
All right. Thank you.
I have a quick question, and it can relate to both either the vet program or the program we're discussing today. How difficult has it been for these degrees to get their classes going with the pandemic? Because I know agriculture classes, vet-based classes, they involve a lot of physical training hours, and just from my experiences, I've seen students have to delay their graduations because of it. Has that affected y'all at all?
No. Our first veterinary class began last August, and Texas Tech University was back face-to-face at that time. So we have not experienced any issues related to the pandemic.
Awesome. Thank you.
Are there any additional questions? All right, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve the request for the Texas Tech University for a Doctor of Philosophy in One Health Sciences?
I'll move.
I have a motion. May I have I think I heard two people. Who made the? Okay. 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 Let the minutes reflect that Emma made the motion and Daniel seconded. Are there any discussions? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, congrats. Right now on the agenda next we have lunch, and going back to the agenda items that we postponed, per Nicole, I think we can pick them up after lunch. As I think the representatives, Nicole, I'm reading it from my watch, and I can't see it. Let me grab my phone. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to go ahead? Okay.
Yeah. Madam Chair, Ray Martinez with coordinating board staff. I spoke to Dr. Guidry, the Associate Provost at Stephen F. Austin, and there are two programs that you all would be taking up, electrical engineering and mechanical engineering, on behalf of Stephen F. Austin. First of all, thank you for the flexibility to allow me the time to go and reach out to the institutions. They often work for years on establishing these new degree programs, so I know they would not want to miss an opportunity. Dr. Guidry asked me to extend his apology. There was confusion on his part as to whether they will be here tomorrow, but there was just confusion as to whether they also needed to be here for today's Caws meeting. He is prepared to get on a Zoom call. If you all want to break for lunch, he'd be happy to join you via Zoom after lunch, and so that you all can take up these two important new degree program proposals. Or he will be here tomorrow, so you could move this item forward without the institutional representatives, and then they'll be here tomorrow for your board vote on the same two degree programs. And they will be here in person to answer questions. So we can do something via Zoom if you all are willing to do so after lunch, and we can set that up, or you will have them tomorrow because he's on his way this afternoon with his colleagues from Stephen F. Austin to be able to address you all for both these programs tomorrow. So Nicole, I hope I've represented that accurately, and if you need to jump in.
That's accurate. We have a couple of options, so we can go. We are posted to do a virtual or hybrid meeting if you want to go hybrid after lunch, or you can consider the items without the representatives in anticipation of their testimony tomorrow before the board, which is the ultimate vote that will approve or not approve the programs.
All right, committee members. I'm leaning toward having them do it by Zoom. so at least we can hear any questions and get them kind of vetted out before we go before the full board tomorrow. But that's my
Yeah, I would agree with Chairwoman Williams, because I think we don't want to set a precedent where people start doing that on Zoom. So I think it's appropriate for them to set up after lunch for a Zoom and do the presentation at that point, and then be here live if they so choose to, or Zoom tomorrow. I would agree with you, Madam Chair.
All right. Committee members, we're good? Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. On that note, Ray will contact the Stephen F. Austin folks and get them prepared. But right now, it is lunchtime, and we will now break for lunch. No public business or public policy over which the board has supervision or control over will be discussed, and we will recommend at, it is 12:08. What do we want to say? Let's say 12:45. We'll come back at 12:45.
And Ms. Williams, may I just confirm, you're going to postpone items 5J3 and 5J4 until after lunch? Or are those the next items that you will take immediately after? Okay, perfect.
Well, let me ask this. If they are en route and if they'll be somewhere where they can talk safely, then we can take those up right after. If not, we can go through the rest of the agenda and then take them at the end so they can get somewhere and get safe. It's only one thing left after lunch? We have L, L1, L5.
They're approved on consent.
Oh, they are all approved on consent. Except we have one more, L5L, that's just the one, okay. Yeah, so we can do them afterwards. We'll go through and do the next motion that's on the thing, and then we'll do them last, and that'll give them time to get somewhere and get prepared and all of that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right, thank you. 12:45. Yeah.